In this video, I'll be covering the 1998 film Hard Rain. Originally titled The Flood, the name was changed following the devastating 1997 Red River flood, which caused over 3.5 billion in damage, which is roughly 6.4 billion adjusted for inflation today. Thankfully, there were no direct fatalities. But that wasn't the only reason for the title change. The director and the producer didn't want the film to be seen as a typical disaster movie. Hard Rain was designed as a heist thriller set against the backdrop of a natural catastrophe, not defined by it. Hard Rain might be one of the most ambitious, fun and unique films ever made. It's also a movie that simply could not exist today because of the filmmaker's almost obsessive dedication to doing things practically. Is there any other film where you get to see jet ski chases and shootouts all taking place inside of a flooded school, a graveyard and a church? Originally, Hard Rain was directed by action legend John Woo, the man behind films like A Better Tomorrow, The Killer and Hard Boiled. But Woo left to make Face Off instead, so in stepped Michael Solomon, a far less famous name at the time. Before Hard Rain, Solomon was the director of cinematography on films like The Abyss and Backdraft. He had earned Academy Award nominations for both. He had also shot Far and Away, but we won't talk about that.
Tell me you like my hat.
You're not wearing a hat.
Say it. Say you like my hat.
You're not wearing a hat.
Say it. Why can't you say it, Shannon? Why can't you say you like my hat? Why can't you say you like my suit? I've earned this. I've done well.
Make it stop, Rats! Make it stop!
Hard Rain was only his second time directing a feature-length film, his first being A Far Off Place in 1993. Today he's more widely known for his work on television, with TV shows like The Band of Brothers and The Andromeda Strain. As well as this, the movie boasts an absolutely stacked cast, with actors such as Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater,
Hi, I'm Christian Slater. What's it like to work for Sabre?
Minnie Driver, Ed Asner, Betty White, Randy Quaid and Mark Rolston, among many more. For a mid-budget January action film, this lineup is impressive. If Hard Rain were made now, you could bet your house it would be 90% CGI. But in 1998, they went all in. The production built a 5-acre, 6 million replica town of Huntingburg, Indiana, inside a massive aircraft hangar. Rain was generated using rain burrs and machines, dumping 45,000 gallons of water per minute onto the set, according to the director. And instead of pumping in more water to simulate the rising flood levels, they did something way smarter. The water stayed at a constant depth and they lowered the entire buildings into the tank using cranes to create the illusion of rising water. Some sets were even built on hydraulic platforms so they could physically sink in real time. But as insane as the production was, it completely failed at the box office. Hard Rain was made in a budget of around 60 million, and that's not even accounting marketing costs. Adjusted for inflation, that's roughly 106 million in today's money. And how much did it make back? Just 19 million in the box office, which adjusted for inflation is about 30 million today. That means the studio lost roughly 41 million at the time, or about 76 million in today's money. Hard Rain is among the biggest box office flops of all time, generally ranking somewhere around the 20s on lists of worst financial bombs in film history. So the real question is, how does a movie this ambitious, with a cast this impressive, and this much practical effort behind it, fail this hard? There's no single definitive reason, but there are several perfect storm factors that all collided at once. Before the release, the film was still known as The Flood, and the media basically painted it as just another generic disaster movie. The problem? The market was already drowning in disaster films. With Dante's Peak, Daylight, Twister, and Deep Impact, audiences were burnt out. So even though Hard Rain was actually a heist thriller, most people assumed it was just a generic disaster film, and that perception stuck. Originally, Paramount delayed the movie to avoid clashing with Fox's Volcano, which was a smart move in theory, but instead they unknowingly moved Hard Rain into the path of Titanic, Good Will Hunting, another Minnie Driver film, As Good as It Gets,
It's not your style.
Wag the Dog,
Job right, nobody should notice.
Jackie Brown,
Carry the bag, and then she started running her fucking mouth.
Amistad, another Morgan Freeman movie, and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Stop! He's already dead.
Hard Rain never had a chance. Because it bombed so hard in the US, the studio lost faith completely, and in many countries Hard Rain went straight to video. And finally, there was a PR nightmare.
I didn't do anything. This is bull.
Christian Slater went on a 2-day cocaine and heroin rampage, just months before the release. What happened? He punched a woman in the face, bit a man on the chest, kicked a janitor in the stomach, and kicked a police officer down a flight of stairs. Although he was only sentenced to 90 days in jail, and even so he only served 59 days. He was allowed to delay turning himself in so he could attend the premiere of Hard Rain. At the premiere, he went on to say, "We all go through bad times. It's about taking responsibility and opening your eyes to the good stuff." When he was released from prison, this is what he had to say.
I just feel like, I've spent my life trying to live up to a projected image, and, I think I just lost myself and I made some mistakes, and I'm just in the process of cleaning the mess up and taking responsibility for that. And through this time, I just kind of learned a lot about myself, and I just realized a lot of things about myself, and I want to take the necessary actions now to clean up the mess and become as much a part of the solution as opposed to the problem.
Whatever you say, Cappy.
That definitely wasn't the publicity the film needed. Even though Hard Rain failed, it deserves some credit for being so ambitious. It's definitely a film we will never see again.